Hello, hello, Acolights. Well, as it turns out, I mistimed the ever-loving shit out of the song. But that doesn't matter, we're starting with Ace Attorney again. The last time we played, we just finished saving our fellow Nipponies, and now we're bunking with Sholmes, actually. And honestly, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I love the dynamic that the group has together. Episode 5. The Hound of the Baskervilles. Baskervilles? A hound it was, but not such a...
It's
well,
coming.
fuck. I didn't read it fast enough.
Pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor
are we going to be in this?
the pistols
Are we going to be in this story now?
I waited breathlessly in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity until, at last, it appeared.
What? What appeared? Is it
From
a
the
dog?
shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon
That
us.
definitely looks like a dog.
A hound it was,
And it's
but
going...
not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen.
What do you mean?
Its eyes glowed with
It's
a
a-
smoldering
it's a good
glare.
boy.
The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white
How
hot
dare you
flames.
judge it on its looks? It is a
Its
good boy.
rumbling
It is
pant
a,
and
all
hideous
dogs are good.
howl, so terrified was I that I
You
began
never
to
seen the
tremble with
movies?
fear.
All dogs go to heaven, bro.
Look well, Wilson, Sholmes declared.
And apparently
gazing
all
upon
cats
the
go to
mystical
hell.
beast.
Well, not all dogs go to heaven. There was one dog.
This is the diabolical hound
an honorary
of the
cat.
Baskervilles.
Apparently all cats go to hell for some reason. That's okay. According to, well, or at least according to Catholicism and Christianism, you don't need to worry about that, because according to them, dogs don't have souls. But, you know, kind of have to believe in heaven or hell first to have any sort of a sway with that. Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into the day we arrived in the country, and in Soseki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closest behind, we emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court. Which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land, so life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it wasn't. Until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. Who's telegramming you? Or are they like Naruhodo's legal consultancy? Huh. I'm surprised we didn't name it something else. It's just literally going by your last name. I wonder, that has to be like one of the most common practices for law, right? Just having your last name be the name of your office. I wonder if they're like, it kind of makes me, like, it happens so often. I wonder if they're contractually obligated to have their name be part of the officing. That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone... What? What's up? Susato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. What is it? Did she find out that Kazuma's still alive? Is Kazuma still alive? Please tell me he's still alive. Susato-san? Yes! Oh. It is time to leave for court... Oh. Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see. What case is it today? I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I? Oh, no. Of course. Oh, right. I forgot. We don't have any clients. But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. So, shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite? Yes. Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. She does, doesn't she? And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. Susato, I don't think you... Let me see. What case is it today? Oh, are we just gonna... Oh, are we just, like, going to court watching cases be presented? Yo. Well, I mean, that's a good way to learn, I assume. I think I've already... Oh, I haven't examined anything in this room. We've only been here in London for about 2 months, but my desk is starting to look a little messy already. Little messy? Oh my god. That's messy... I was going to say that's messier than my desk, and then I looked over to a literal small garbage pile, so I guess it can't be. Yeah, it ain't too bad. Ain't too bad, Ryunosuke. You could tidy up once in a while. Susato-san, I always say, making a mess is a small sacrifice to pay for being able to further your studies. And time spent studying up is time you can't devote to the same cause. And time spent on ridiculous arguments is time that could be better spent on some simple housework. Well, she got me this time. I'm supposed to be the lawyer here. Come on, Susato. Give me a break. Okay, just like a Daruma. The Daruma doll I brought with me from home, still with only one eye colored in. I'd say I'd color the other eye once I won my first court case here in Britain, but... But you have one, haven't you? Twice, in fact. Because I feel like I'm still lacking as a lawyer. I tell you what, why don't you color the other eye in once you think I'm a proper, fully fledged lawyer? If you insist. Yeah, that sounds like a good comeuppance. Good closure to a story, if you will. I guess I could interact with that. What about this tea set? So this is the tea set that Susato-san brought with her from Japan. Let's hope she hasn't noticed me slipping sugar and milk in my cup when she makes it. It's just so bitter. Tea is a drink to be enjoyed, Naruhodo-san. You really don't have to force yourself to drink it, you know. I don't like to see you screw up your face so much. Yeah, mine is a pretty good face. Be a shame to scrunch it up too much. That spade has been here since we started renting the place. Oh, that's not a spade, Naruhodo-san. It's a shovel. Is a spade like a handheld shovel? Is that what I'm thinking of? A spade is handheld and a shovel is like fully like body length, right? Is that the difference? Are you gonna tell us? No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade. Wait. No, spades are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a shovel. Oh, so we have the complete opposite. I don't want to dig a hole for myself, so let's leave it. They're literally... This is going to drive the both of them insane. They are actually just going to be at each other's throats over that eventually. It's just like, it's a goddamn spade. I told you for the millionth time, it's a shovel. It's spring at last, and the weather is warmer now. But I love the smell of the fire and the steam rising from the kettle. Man, when my mom first moved up to the mountains in Colorado, when I would stay with her, she had like a burning stove like this because they didn't have gas-powered like heaters, so they literally used fire. And the first time I was there, I was just hanging out in the front room, and then I went upstairs to go to the bathroom, and I turned down and looked down the stairs at the living room, and the entire room was filled with smoke. And I was like, is it supposed to be like this? Is this supposed to happen? And both my mom and stepdad just kind of like looked at each other, looked at me, and they're like, it's smoky in here? What do you mean? And I'm just like, oh my god, like once I got out of it and looked at it, like, we're gonna die of smoke inhalation. Eventually. It'd probably lead to some minor brain damage, some other stuff going wrong with us, but you know, it's just cool. We've just been breathing in smoke. At least we got that nice campfire smell on us, though. That's an upside. But yeah, they like got it fixed within the next week, and all of a sudden, hey, look at that. It was good. We didn't have to worry about it. And then the next year, she actually got gas heating, so we didn't have to worry about that at all. Now it's just kind of there for, I guess, emergencies if they do need it. But yeah, like I do love those. It actually keeps the house surprisingly warm. Oh, would you like some tea, Naruhodo-san? Thank you, Susato-san, but I am all right for now. With the green tea Susato makes for me from time to time and Iris's unique herbal infusions, this place is paradise for a true tea lover. Green tea is such a wonderful accompaniment to British tea cakes, don't you think? I'd rather just have the tea cake, honestly. But that may just be my inner fat kid talking. Is this Susato's desk? Ah, this must be the telegram. Let's see. Ah! No, you mustn't look at that. Not under any circumstances. Alright, I won't. Jeez. I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san, but you can be very mischievous at times. Okay, then put it away if you don't want people looking at it. Gee, I thought you were gonna flip me again. Do you know how often you do that, Susato? You flip me at least once each trial. Wait, did you flip me in the first one? I don't think you flipped me in the first one, but you flipped me 5 times on the second one. So I think that more than makes up for the first. Alright, yeah. Tell me about the telegram, Sato. What was it about? What did you got something spicy delivered to you? Oh, a telegram? I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna take it that you got some real spice to work with. Yeah? It's either hot news or hot stuff. It's one of the two. Sorry, but you're not gonna get away with that. Well, I didn't think I would. Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. Yeah, I don't believe you. It was just a boring old telegram. That's 3 times now she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing. It's definitely something, Susato, so what the hell is in the telegram? I promise I'll tell you about it at some point. Is Cosmo... Like, why would you hide this from me? Is Cosmo alive? Please. Like, it's been my pet theory that he's been alive this entire time. If you confirm it for me, that would be great. That would be excellent. But I'm gonna have to know. Alright, I understand. No, Ryunosuke, push! Push! It's very important. It's going to... Oh, God. That's gonna be so important in the future. I suppose Soseki will have arrived back in Japan by now, wouldn't he? Oh, man. Need an early water. Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after the terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or be just a few days away. A fortnight ago, we had that very long telegram from him. Do you remember? Complaining of seasickness. But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going very well. Mostly. Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? I was just wondering, what might have become of Soseki-san had he stayed in London, that's all. You mean, as regards Lord Van Zieks, the Reaper? Yeah, that is exactly. It would have been. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I was hoping you would know what I was giving down, what I was putting out. You dig? Yeah, no. If he had stayed here and ended up dead, I think we would just 100% know that Zeeks is a serial killer. Okay. Yep. Yeah. What about the Reaper, Ken? What do you think? I think. What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right? Yeah, I mean, I feel like... it's so hard to tell with these games. Either a guy who looks evil is obviously the bad guy, but he seems to just be trying to get people put away who need to be put away. And I mean, he goes at it, like, very aggressively, and he's probably put away quite, like, a few people who, like, didn't deserve it. But it seems like, for the most part, he wants to, like, figure out what happened and wants to get justice done. As for what happens after the court case, who's to say? He might be up to something, at least. Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. Yeah, that was... Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery. Yeah, but at least Soseki-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably that means... that the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps. Oh my god, I tried to do that in one breath and I utterly failed. Clearing my throat. Even if that's the case, it's little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. Ryunosuke, you always have a terrible sense of foreboding. If the legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself. Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants. No, I don't think so. Apparently, Lord Van Zieks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter. Oh, so he just hates me personally. I feel, yeah, he's only ever going to appear in court when we appear in court. Yeah, man, I just had, like... Okay, what if Van Zieks has something against Kazuma and he knows that Susato was supposed to be here with Kazuma. So he goes into any court to go against her. Because at first I was like, oh, maybe he's just like targeting me. But that doesn't make any sense. But if he's targeting her, it could be because of her connection to Kazuma. I'm reading very far into this. Probably way too far than I should be. It probably doesn't have that much significance. Yes, since Soseki-san's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems. Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So it's just been me who's had to face him in these recent spat of trials, then? Just my luck. It's because of you, isn't it? It's because of you, huh, Susato? I wonder if luck doesn't come into it. Sorry, what was that? Oh, nothing. Never mind. Seriously, Susato, you have to tell me. What the heck is going on? I was kind of expecting you to, like, be able to tell us where to go. Well, I guess we're going down for breakfast. Oh, God, stop that. I just yawned. 15th April, Sholmes' suite. Yes, yes, yes! Morning, Runo. Morning, Susie. Good morning, Iris. Who's playing the violin right now? Iris. What is it, Bruno? What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled. Ah, yes, you noticed that, did you? Yeah, I did. Oh, God. Hurley isn't in his best form this morning, it seems. Yeah, I can hear that. I can hear that pretty... Oh, no. Oh, no, he's depressed. Hello. Hello, Mr. Sholmes? Good morning. A good morning to die, perhaps. Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before... My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. Why's that? Damn this blanched existence! That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. Sholmes, I'm afraid I don't understand. You doing alright? Are you just like, well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Oh my, is he depressed because there hasn't been a good mystery to solve in 2 months? Some dry toast and an insipid coffee for me, if it's not too much trouble. Yes, the cat has the right idea. It's food time. Hello, cat. How are you? Oh, look, it's Wagahai. Good morning, boy. Yeah, Wagahai. 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 That must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. But how did it get there? They installed it for the cat, Ryunosuke. Well then, everyone, time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. It would indeed be a fine day to die. I knew something looked different. Oh my God! What? Where does microscope go? Oh no! Sholmes! Sholmes! Tell me what's wrong. You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its mellissonant tones would make flowers bloom. It would? But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? For hours I have bowed, for days even. Even through the night I have endured to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone, gone forever! No more recitals of unbridled emotion! Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley? No, I'm sure it'll come back to you in... Oh, don't worry, I'm sure it'll come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man. The next, they unmercifully withdraw it. Oh, okay. You're in one of those moods today, I see. Oh, why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin from me, what is left, for pity's sake? What is left? You got your cool hat, I guess? Deduction, perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? He's known for deduction, Ryunosuke, but I don't think he has... He could put 2 and 2 together, just, you know, he gets 5. You're just like, oh my god, all of these specific clues. I know exactly what this means. You don't know exactly what it means. I'm sorry. Water successful. Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but... What? Your desk looks rather empty today. Well done, Miss Usato. Your observational skills do you credit. Oh, no, Mr. Sholmes. They pale into insignificance when compared to yours. You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you? You mean Hurley's great analytoscope? That's at Windy Banks now. Sorry? It's at a Windy Bank? No, Windy Banks, the pawnbrokery. Pawn? Wait, why did he have to sell it off? You mean you pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see. Quite undeservingly. But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I would have gladly passed what little income I have to you. Dear Madame, things are far from desperate. But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate? Making use of a pawnbroker is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It is? Doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? Yeah, what's up, Sholmes? Tell us exactly how pawnbrokering works, then. What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks. Oh, you like put stuff away for a while and then you come back and get it? On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily through the week. And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned. I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London. And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn, should the need arise. Okay. Oh, how ingenious. So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windy Banks, you see. A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain? Of course, you'd have to watch Hurley with it. Oh, excuse me. Oh, man. I don't know what's going on with me. Then again, I do always eat right before stream, so I guess it makes sense that I almost always do have the burpees, and I apologize for that. I apologize for all future burps, whether you hear them or you don't hear them. Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley? Don't you, Hurley? Oh, that's how she was supposed to say it. What does it matter? The world is dead to me now. Okay. Stop that. Gee. I don't like that. Can I interact with everything again? I don't really want to if I don't have to. I guess I'll just like... Okay, what's up with you today, Iris? Wagahai. Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home, then.
Oh, yes, and I've become very attached to little Waggy.
See, the nickname works for an animal. It definitely does. It appears its previous owner has completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their meows as empty as the hearts of the muses.
Okay, you calm. If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place.
I expect he would have taken him if he could. Pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience.
And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed.
Yeah, that is factually true.
Well, I don't mind, because Waggy is adorable.
That is, well, it is a cat. It is, in fact, a cat. Oh yeah, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from?
Oh, you noticed? You are observant, Runo. Look, I used this. It's my latest invention.
What is that? Yeah, seriously, what am I looking at?
I call it the Clap Flapomat.
Cat Flapomat? Does it just like suck onto the door and carve out a square? Or just leave behind a door?
Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? That's right, it can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. And it can do in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see.
So you're saying we're going to go bank robbing? I mean, not saying I would do that. No. That's just no. Gotta keep them on their toes, Acolights. Gotta keep them fucking. Yeah, no. We're dropping it. Wouldn't it have been quicker to just make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap?
Well, yes, maybe, but now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris. Ah, yes, we're just letting the cat in. She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. And what is she, like 10? It's crazy. Yeah, no, she's 10. What the... Okay, well, cat's going crazy. What was that? Wagahai? Up. It's just going crazy. It's got the zoomies. You can't have a cat and have glass and stuff on a shelf. It's just a recipe for disaster. They're gonna knock shit over. That's just what cats do. That's how cats are. What was that?
Oh no! Wagahai's tangled up in your violin! I think he thinks it's a toy.
No! What's he doing to it?
Well, oh dear. Mr. Sholmes' precious violin.
Why should I care? What? It's your property, man. I shouldn't be surprised. The cat is a more accomplished musician than me. Better than I know. Ah, man. He is crazy depressed. You were right, Susato. And honestly, I think part of it is the machine that he definitely shouldn't have pawned out. But I feel like definitely, like, he's missing a case. We need to find a case for him to solve.
Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley?
Out of the cat's reach, if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. Out of the cat's reach? Nothing is out of a cat's reach. What are you, crazy? They could jump, like, 7 feet in the air. It's not really hard for them, either. Okay, well... Wait, can I interact with you again? Please tell me you have more dialogue. Okay, no, it's just the same one. Okay. I thought it was going to force me to listen to all of that again. These are all mementos of Mr. Sholmes' past cases, I think. If he'd been involved in my case, I wonder if the beefsteak from La Carnival would be on display here. Why would the beefsteak... It would be the plate, Ryunosuke. Why would he have meat fucking just sitting out? It'd be rotten by now. Come on, think, man. A mystery shoe, a curious hammer, some mysterious dancing men, a bust of Napoleon. Ah, what an entrancing collection! It looks like an untidy assortment of junk to me, rather like what's on my own shelves. Yeah, so who are you to judge, Ryunosuke? Well, you really ought to learn to keep your things in order, Mr. Naruhodo. No favoritism there at all. What do you think she's gonna choose you over the world's greatest detective? No. She's been reading those books since she was a child. The fire's burning comfortingly in the grate again today. It's a very different feeling to a Japanese hibachi somehow.
Oh, look at that photographic print of the lady displayed on the mantelpiece. Could it be...
Who is it?
Yes, it must be. It's the woman. Oh, how exciting.
You gonna elaborate there, Susato? Is that supposed to mean... Yeah, I'm in the same boat, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? Okay, and she's just gonna drop it there. No, actually, let's go to the right. Well, I mean, she's still got the typewriter, still got some more stuff. You got any more famous tea? It's where Iris notes down ideas, isn't it? Let's see, what does it say today? Ah, the Boscombe Valley Mystery.
Ooh, how intriguing. It must be the title of Iris's latest work. Oh my, I wonder what fantastic tale awaits us.
Susato looks like an angel, but I bet she's dreaming of the most unsavory crime you can imagine. Oh yeah, someone beheaded, someone like just body parts all over the place. I think that'd be the mystery she's hoping for. Jack the Ripper. Oh wait, when does this game take place? This is like steampunk Europe. Is one of the killers gonna be fucking Jack the Ripper? Is that... I feel like that's something they might do. What if the Reaper is the Ripper? Nah. Wait, no. That doesn't... Wait. No. Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. Because Jack the Ripper only kills women and then takes something from them. So it wouldn't be him. Because McGilded died by being set on fire. As far as we know... McGilded was a guy. And also... didn't have anything taken to him. He was just burnt alive. You know, the lesser of the two. Iris's beautiful tea set is here on the table as usual. A cup of one of her special herbal blends always helps me to relax when I'm feeling the strain.
The English pastime of tea has many similarities with our own tea ceremony customs, don't you think?
Tea is pretty big in Asia. And Europe. Pretty much just that entire place. Just tea.
It's the idea of hospitality behind it. That's the essence of tea.
Really? I think it's just because it tastes good. Or, well, I mean, it is pretty bitter, but I mean, I'm sure some people think it's an acquired taste. That's a charming little white shelf, and full of charming little bottles, too. But the contents of them aren't quite so charming, it seems.
Science is the future, Mr. Naruhodo. You can't deny it. I'm saving my money so that I can buy some chemistry apparatus as well.
Law, chemistry, takedown throws? What diverse skills you boast, Mr. Sato.
As useful as they are, I'm not sure that my throwing skills are worthy of inclusion in that list.
They kind of are, because I've felt them. Quite a lot. Quite a few times. They are worthy of being on the list. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Iris doing much writing recently. There's paper already set up in the typewriter. Look, it's as if she's about to start. Any day now.
That reminds me, when I mentioned that Iris was in the process of writing a full-fledged novel, Mr. Natsume was most impressed.
Ah, yeah, Mr. Natsume.
That's what I'll be doing too once I'm back in Japan, he said through tightly clenched fists and teeth.
Yeah, he did say it while very strained. He was just like... he was pretty jealous. He was just like, I can't believe she's living the good life. Being an author, that's supposed to be me. I'm supposed to be the author. We already did all that. Are we moving somewhere? Wait. Oh. Well, I mean, there's one more thing to examine. Looks like that huge metal chest is being used as a table for tea and coffee. Seems very sturdy with an equally sturdy lock.
Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't go around opening things. I always have to keep an eye on you, don't I? You're very mischievous.
How did you come to that conclusion? I literally did nothing except look at it and make a note. No. Can I go to the left side? I can. Well, I mean, there's some beakers. I can't actually examine where it was. It's a ton of stuff. There's all sorts of these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high I can't help feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment. Listen, Ryunosuke. It's organized chaos. Just don't touch anything and you'll be fine. It'll stay where it is. It's perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Oh, it's such a charmingly untidy collection of paraphernalia, isn't it?
It just looks messy to me, like my desk.
But you, Mr. Naruto, must learn to tidy up after yourself.
Yep, still badgering on me and not Holmes. I see how it is. I understand. Don't worry, I get it. Is all of this one thing? I think all of this is one thing. Look at Mr. Sholmes' desk, it's completely clear. Isn't that enormous machine usually on it?
We can never hope to understand what goes on in the great detective's mind, Mr. Naruto. Why, next time we're invited, we may find he's vacated the entire suite.
That's scarily plausible, actually. Yeah, I could see him just up and dipping, just out of nowhere. Just like, oh, well, time to go solve a case in Eurabia. Eurabia? I think I just mixed Arabia and Uraby, the Yu-Gi-Oh card. So this is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius, one of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I get it. I totally understand what those words mean in that sequence, in that order. I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings.
55?
Isn't that like a year's salary or something? How honorable of you. And until today, it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I've made. I ask you, is there reason to live on in a world devoid of music, to tolerate this blanched existence? No. There is none. None whatsoever. Yeah, I'm with you, Susato. I'm kind of judging him as well.
Mr. Sholmes?
What, dear madame, what? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine.
Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think?
Huh? What do you mean, Miss Susato?
Oh, Susie's right! Yes, the tone of the wood is completely different. And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before.
Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What's this? Oh my god. We've got a new case to solve! Someone replaced his violin and gave us a crappy one. That's why you're playing so horribly.
I'm terribly sorry to tell you this, Mr. Holmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all.
Then what? What could it possibly be?
I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola.
What? Isn't a viola basically just like a smaller violin? You're right, you're quite right. This isn't my faithful Stradivarius. So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam? Not your faithful performing partner, then.
If only I could speak. Ah, I see what must have happened.
You do, Iris?
This is just a simple mix-up.
It sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her.
Okay, so I guess we're turning our heads slightly to the right. Hey, Iris, you want to explain what the actual hell you're just talking about right now? Maybe? A little bit? Teeny bit?
What did you mean by a mix-up, Iris?
Well, you see, this viola, I mean, was at Windibanks until last week. At the pawnbroker's?
Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner. There is a proverb from the East, from which there are no doubt. Oh my God! I feel the more I play this game, the more I realized I may actually be dyslexic. I don't know. I can read everything perfectly in my head, but as soon as my brain is like, okay, you just have to translate these words to speech. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's just something about them. Something about they're just all mixed up. They're going everywhere. Can't read them in the proper order when I'm talking out loud. There's a proverb from the East, from the East, with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel. That is,
yes, indeed.
So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth? Oh, what a wonderful idea! That doesn't make any sense. Last week I pawned my great analydoscope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Windibanks mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. My ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. No, but your very sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings. Yeah, I mean, you had like a lot of faith in the pawnbroker to give you your instrument back, and you're like, oh, well, nope, nothing's wrong with the instrument, it's just me that's bad. I can't even say anything, because I have days like that too. I have days like that, it's just like, oh, I'm just doing something really awful, just not feeling it. It's like, man, I am the world's worst. And then I look over at other people and it's like, oh, wait, actually, I'm not actually that bad. I'm not doing too bad. Still awful, though. Pshaw! A fine state of affairs this is, and why I always say, Mr. Naruhodo, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time. But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbroker as an extremely secure vault. He did say that. He said that at one point, yes. Come, Mr. Naruhodo, dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry? Why am I crunching your toast with that vacant aspect, pressing your coffee so obtusely? Ha ha! Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced? We must visit Mr. Windibanks' brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Holmes? Precisely, Miss Usato, without a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. Just scoop them up in your toast, man. Just shovel them in your toast and make a toast sandwich. It's fine. To crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect? To press your egg even more obtusely? Alright, say no more. Let's go then. I'm not gonna hear the end of it until I do. Don't worry, Bruno. I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. That actually means a lot. I'm rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker's looks like. Yeah, me too. Or at least a Japanese version of an English pawnbroker in the 1800s. It could work. Oh my god, wait, can I... Nope, I can't talk with him anymore. Can I examine? Nope. Just making sure there are no more options. Baker Street is just right outside, and the brokery. I kind of just want to go to Baker Street real quick. So there's a leased store and just a pawnbroker's right next door? Look at all the different things in the window of this shop. Ah, that's Windibanks, the pawnbrokery. It looks much smarter than a pawnbroker's in Japan, doesn't it? Yes, you're right. I find pawnbrokers' home rather inapproachable, personally. Reminds me of tearfully parting with my favorite fountain pen. I felt so miserable. What doesn't kill us make us stronger, Mr. Naruhodo? That is true. It just makes me, more depressed. Slightly more depressed. It's already been 2 months since we started taking lodgings here above Mr. Sholmes' office. Still can't quite believe it. I never expected things would turn out like this. Oh, I know. To actually be sharing accommodation with the world's greatest detective. That isn't what I was... Oh, if I ever find myself before a court of law now, I will have not one regret. Again, not really what I was talking about, and I don't know what you're talking about. But I'd be happy to defend you if you are in court. Be a little weird if you were. Did you just float? You know what? You threw someone into the river, didn't you? That's what you did. You threw someone in the river, Miss Usato. 15th April. Windibanks Pawnbrokery. Wow. This low-key kind of looks like a thrift store. Not a thrift store, the Goondies? No, not the Goondies. Is it a thrift store? Is that what they're called? Where people, like, just sell things that they no longer want or need anymore, and then other people can come buy them. Is that a thrift store? Am I thinking of the right word? Oh my god, that's gonna drive me crazy. Well, so this is a British pawnbrokery. Oh my, there are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid eyes on before. Ah, Susato-san, and that spark of wonder in your eyes. Can't wait to scour the shelves, can ya? I get the impression you enjoy places like this?
Oh, yes. I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me.
She has a need to understand. Really just to understand everything. And, I mean, it's pretty good for her that she has that need, and she has a magical book that tells her anything she needs to know at any given time. Because that's crazy. That's crazy that she has a thirst for knowledge, and something that just gives her any knowledge she wants. My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure. I'll sock you in the face if you think otherwise. And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging by the spark of fury in his eyes. Ah, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, no, wait, what should this guy... Ah, Mr. Sholmes, sir, welcome back. No, that doesn't sound quite right. What would go with a red-haired fat dude? Because I can't just give him a deep voice, because Sholmes is here, and he's already a deep voice. I don't really want to give him a frog voice, but then again, he is a pawnbroker, and pawnbrokers have been known to be a little, shifty. Did you hear that brazen welcome? Well, yeah, we're potential customers after all. We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't forget it. And it's time to inform Mr. Windibank of our ire. Come! The fight is afoot! The fight's afoot? Okay. But first, before we talk to that guy, I want to just look at fucking everything. What are you doing, my dear fellows? We are not here to browse for interesting curios. We have come to teach this broker a lesson.
Oh, but here are just so many fascinating items.
Looks as though we'll have to talk to Mr. Windibank first before you could explore this and... Oh, okay, well, I tried. Wait. Oh, okay, so that was everything. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. I like that. It's just like, hey, don't actually interact with anything. You are supposed to be talking with him right now. Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago. Yes. This second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Windibank. The color of the wood is different. It has holes in it. It's not even the same size.
A wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Sholmes.
I'm very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There is only one way to make amends.
He's fucking... Oh my god, what the fuck? What the Oh god, he's about to kill himself.
I shall have to take my own life.
Don't do that, dude. I thought he was... Okay, damn. My brain just went through a roller coaster of emotions. At first, I thought he was just running away, which I was about to say, get his ass! Go! Get him! But then he grabbed a gun and I was like, oh god, never mind, don't grab him! Don't grab him! And then he put it against himself, just like, no, don't kill yourself! Just a whirlwind. A whirlwind. Those three distinct emotions, back to back to get back. I don't think that will be necessary, do you?
If I may just say one thing before I pop off.
Yeah? What do you need to tell us?
It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe.
Sorry?
As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, ah, here it is.
You did.
And when I turned to controvert you, you had taken the violin and left, sir.
That doesn't sound like me at all.
However, there could be no doubt that the blame lies firmly in my own door for allowing you to leave. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me.
No, stop, my dear fellow. The fault is mine.
Are you sure?
It would appear that the fight is over.
I do humbly apologize, Mr. Windibank. Evidently my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy. Just like pride precipitates the fall.
Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock Sholmes without that questionable disposition, now would you?
I do believe you may be right, sir. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. And he chose laugh. Does that mean, Windpeg, you're about to cry?
You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. I needn't remind you of your peculiar collection of items you've brought through my door in the past.
Oh, peculiar items?
Such as, in the extreme, ma'am. For example, the unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Sholmes or some such. Oh my, a new full-fledged novel? An unpublished? A story I have yet to read, you mean? Ah, forgive me. Wait, before you die, you must tell me more.
I need to know. Oh my god, it actually became an option? Okay. Tell us more about the unpublished story, I guess.
I must know more. Tell me everything.
Wow, Susato's really fired up now.
Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof?
That is what he just said. Yes, that is exactly what he just said. Yeah. Sorry, fixing my chair. Whew. Man, I am sore. I'm telling you, Acolights, no matter what you do in life, never, ever, under any circumstances ever, throw your back out. Now, see, this is coming out of nowhere, but I threw my back out when I was 20. 20 in college. Since then, I have had undisrupted back pain for the last 6 years, and I've thrown my back out at least once a year. And my back just fucking hurts. It hurts all the time. And sometimes it's like I try to get a new position, and if I'm in that position for too long, bam, hurts again. Maybe I need to like get a heat pad for my chair or something, but it's awful. Can't recommend getting pull that back. And I know, it's dumb of me. It's really dumb of me to recommend not throwing out your back, because you can never tell when it's going to happen. You can never tell when you're going to throw out your back. But trust me, when you do, it will be the worst thing that has ever happened to you. How do I know? Because it happened to me. It happened to me, and it'll happen to you. Oh, God, yeah. And I mean, like, again, I was 20, so, like, very young. Very young. And I mean, I'm 26, so still very young, but... Oh, God, it hurts. Why does it hurt, man? So if you ever see me going, like raising up really high or going really far to the left or right, that is me adjusting in my chair. That is me, like, adjusting just so I can, like, not feel pain or be in a proper position. That said, posture check. If you're watching this, sit up straight. It just helps. Also, uncross your legs. Because I found this out after I threw out my back. Crossing your legs, one of the worst things you could do. I mean, like, not like barely crossing. That doesn't really do much. I mean, like, having your ankle on your knee type of crossing your legs. I used to do that all the time. Also, apparently, horrid for your back. So I just don't do it anymore. I can't. If I do that, I will find myself laying on the ground sooner or later in pain, unable to move. Because if you don't know what throwing out your back is like, it's like someone is bisecting you with a fucking sword. It hurts so badly. It feels like someone is trying to, like, tear you in half with a sword. And, like, any position, like, you have no idea how often you use your back until you have no use of it whatsoever. And it's like, people who fake back injuries, dumbest people imaginable. That feels like it's so easy to, you know, not get away with. If you do anything, they know you're faking it. Oh, God. Sorry, I had to go on that mini tangent because I was just fucking around with my chair. Well, one day the gentleman here brought in an old metal chest, you see. An old metal chest? I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Wendybank. For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir, not a farthing more. It houses something of very great value indeed. The latest manuscript recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I beg your pardon? A manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript? Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be quite safe here. And that was that. As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? I do not recall. Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this? Oh, is it a manuscript that he tried to write instead of Iris? Is that maybe it? I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings, securely. Of course, sir, of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you, on my life. Yeah, it's really weird. Ryunosuke, you got that right. This is all really weird. What about the pawnbrokery itself? I wonder, could I ask you something? Ah, a gentleman from the east, I see. Yes, that sable suit. I suppose I could offer you 6 pence for it. I wasn't offering, without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull. I really wasn't about to offer you that. Ah, but for your splendid attire, ma'am. 5 guineas, no less. The colors are exquisite, the design exotic. Eastern artistry at its finest, may I say. Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? Don't trade away your kimono. How interesting. Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here? I mean, Ryunosuke, you are just wearing a school uniform, and she's wearing a full kimono. Out of the two, only people with uniform kinks would go for yours. I'm sorry to say. It's just not going to happen. Plus, it has to be the right size, and kimonos tend to be larger, so it could fit... Wait, do kimonos tend to be larger so they could fit anyone? I guess it depends on if her kimono's a custom fit, I suppose. But yeah, yeah, no. With, like, the embroidery that has to be with it, yeah, no, it's 100% worth more than a school uniform, for sure. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London. Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize the establishment as you describe. I praise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure stowage. If, in that time, they repay the original sum to me, plus the if they repay oh my god. If in that time they repay the original sum to me, plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned. What happens if they don't pay you the money? Then the items are offered for sale in my shop. As you can see on the shelves behind me, all of these are things people have yet to come get. So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed, then? That's right, ma'am, that's right. Which means to some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. So that means that that's going to be a relevant... I feel like they're showing this pawnbrokery in the setup for a case. In which case, that is very important, and we just learned that information that they just told us. Which was information of some sort. It was information... Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I can remember what the information was. That they store it for 2 months. Okay. 2 months before they sell it. Okay. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all. Yeah. The very idea, Mr. Windibank, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually. Says the man who was telling us all it was a good day to die only this morning. Ryunosuke, there's a difference between saying you wish to die and holding a gun to your head saying you're gonna die. There's a small difference, teeny difference. Small, I'm not sure if you could notice the difference, but there is one. And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs. Oh, what sort of measures? I engineered a simple device which Mr. Windibank has installed here in his shop. I call it the Red-Handed Recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Windibank? Ah, what's that deep sigh about? Yeah, what is that? Does it mark people's hands red if they try to steal something? What on earth is a red-handed recorder? Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are 2 just below the ceiling. What are you talking? I see an alligator. That's dope. I didn't see that before. I'm just seeing like lanterns and hats. A camera. Where? I feel like they're just saying there's a camera, but I'm not seeing one in the picture.
I could see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device.
Very astute. It is indeed a camera, furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. And every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop. Here, I have an example I could show you. Okay, is this going to be added to our evidence? Oh, that's not too bad. Ah, yes, a print from the camera set to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive it produces a crystal clear image even in the darkness. Really? That's extraordinary, actually. Have you patented it? What the hell is a patent?
Yeah, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it. Look.
You can see the main stuff that you need. So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed.
But did you not say the photographic prints were taken at a 30-minute interval?
Indeed, as you say, my dear madame.
Then, what if the incident were to occur in between times?
One could only say, ha ha, it would be a cruel twist of fate. I must confess your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late. I beg your pardon, Mr. Winterbank, surely they're anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word. It's the cost of the film, sir. You must graciously place not one, but 2 cameras in my shop, after all. Which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older. Ah, about that. What did you mean? Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbroker, you know? Ha ha! My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come all at a price.
Oh, heaven help us.
Oh, God. Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin. Sweet! Ah, the very thing. Thank you, Mr. Winterbank. Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you try to pop, Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer. You know that, right? You've seen me hold a gun to my head every single time you've been here. I hope you take it very seriously. I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Maybe someone could get hurt. Fear not! The only person who would get hurt would be me. I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be harmed. That's very considerate of you, I suppose. Good day to you, then, Mr. Winterbank. It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes. Again, not sure it's a pleasure to be around Sholmes. If you're not one of his friends, I imagine Sholmes is kind of just a pain to deal with. So, Mr. Naruhodo, now we can explore at last! Hell yeah! Let's look at the goddamn place! Ah, no, actually. I was hoping that would give me something different. Nope, it's just talking. So what's over here? Look at all the enormous ledger on the counter open there. Mr. Windenbeck is, if nothing else, very particular about recording the items he accepts. He'd have to be, otherwise he'd get himself dragged into all sorts of trouble. Which might explain the thing that catches my eye far more than the ledger. The gun? The gun. This revolver here. Hoo-ha! Do not entertain even a single thought of pilfering an article herein, my dear fellow. Huh? I assure you, Mr. Winterbank would not hesitate to draw that weapon with a speedy belying his portly size.
Oh, you don't mean he'd...
Precisely. Blow his brains out, indeed, in recompense for his blunder.
That isn't what I thought you were gonna say.
Nope. It's just like, oh my god, a thief! Right in his head. Just right there. But in any case, of course we would never do such a thing. How could you even suggest it? a clock? Clock. Is this a clock?
Look at this. Look at this lovely, big, shiny box bee.
That, my dear madame, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country.
Oh my, yes, but I've certainly never seen one so large before.
Shall we listen a while?
Sure. What you gotta play? Ah, what a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels. I've never heard anything like it before in my life.
This particular specimen is of a larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There is a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by placing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played.
So it's like a different combination that you get every different thing you put in? My goodness, what a simply delightful machine.
Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course.
Science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace.
They do just go utterly crazy, don't they? What about all these hats?
What an assortment of things there are on the shelves here. Well, I guess I didn't click on the hats. Crockery, footwear, clocks, and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine.
Those are forfeited items offered for sale by the pawnbroker.
What does that really mean, though?
Well, when you pawn, or colloquially pop, an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. Oh, God, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he is free to display it in a shop for sale at a price of his choosing.
Oh, yeah, now that you've explained it, I'm noticing little price tags on everything.
Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow.
My treasured university uniform? Never! It embodies my student spirit.
Hell no. Who do you think I am?
Can I not interact with the hats? Damn.
I was really hoping I could. What else is there? Is this, one of those machines you, like, look into? I mean, those look like eye holes.
Nobody used to suppose this rather enormous machine does. It seems to have two little windows for looking through.
Ha! Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you're looking at is a stereoscope.
A fascinating.
It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself.
Oh, I should be light-eyed. Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me a moment while I just have a look.
Just before you do, there is something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically, as it were, you will need to be cross-eyed. Cross-eyed? However, if that is beyond you, it is of little consequence today.
What does that mean? Alright then, I'm going to try it.
Aw, man, I was really hoping it was going to show her, like, with the
Mr. Naruhodo, you must see!
Oh, alright then. So I need to be cross-eyed, like I'm trying to look at my own nose. Oh, God, yeah, no. I'm not about being cross-eyed. What the? I don't believe it.
There be a picture here.
It's just a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. Yes, the sense of depth is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. They're often in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them.
Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic?
It's not magic at all, my dear madame. It is, well, you know, something that I don't understand. It's far too complicated to explain at present. We shall save this lesson for another day.
Oh.
Yep, she said. She said you don't get to know. It is April 15th? 16th? Oh, 15th. Oh my god, I'm dumb. They literally said the date as we transferred scenes here. That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th April, today's date. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It's an Eastern-style page-a-day calendar. Every night at midnight, tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date. The perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Winterbank. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when the agreed stored period has passed without repayment, articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep close eye on the date. It's something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say. Gotta pay attention to when we get the new goods on the shelf.
Oh, yes. I can see you're very dedicated to your job.
Yep, dedicated to his job and earning some money. Are we supposed to interact with anything else, or do we, like, just go back now? Oh, what's this?
Look at this. Whatever could it be used for?
Yeah, no, I have no idea either. I was, like, looking at it, trying to figure it out.
Ah.
What is it? What's up?
There's a small catch just here, look.
Okay, is it, like, something that opens? Yeah, what are you talking about, Ryusuke? Of course we're gonna open it. Why would we not open it? If there's something that's openable in a game, you gotta open it. That's just the rules.
Oh my, that's amazing. It's some sort of spring-loaded mechanism.
Which we'll never manage to put back to the way it was before. What? What are you two doing? What? Us? Nothing. No, nothing at all. Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. Feels as though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere.
What? Only tuppence for it? That ain't fair. Only tuppence for it? That ain't fair, and you know it.
The article's barely worth a penny. Oh, miss. Oh, well. Misgendered that voice. It's barely worth a penny, miss. I cannot offer more. Let me see your face. Let me see your face. Looks like there's an argument brewing by the counter.
Come on, that can't be right. Have you even had a proper butcher's at it?
I've seen all I need to, you see, young girl.
Oh, it's her.
I gave her... What voice did I give her? Smarmy and confident? I think that was the combo I was going for.
Oh, yes, it's the young lady from Mr. McGilded's trial 2 months ago.
Yep. Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, runs her crust among large crowds, leaving people over their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket. She do be picking the pockets. And then she just blew everyone up with smoke grenades. Yep, what's up, Gina? How are you?
Gordon Bennett, you lot! Hello, Miss Lestrade. I hope you've been well.
And she's just fully prepared to go at us.
What? You remember me then, do you?
Well, I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure. So, what are you doing in here? Down and out like the rest of us? Nothing to eat? Come to puck the black weasel. Sorry, coat of you. What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone think I'm gonna be selling it? What is this right now? Why does everyone think that my style isn't worth anything? Good day, unless I'm much mistaken. Haha! You would be the youngest pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher.
Ah, Mr. Sholmes!
So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article, and I shall negotiate with Mr. Winterbank on your behalf.
Pull the other one. I don't need no help from some stuck-up D. Get out of my business, go on, or I'll make trouble for you.
As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I will happily remove myself from your presence. I didn't want to be around you anyways. You smell. He's really done it. He's gone. Unbelievable. I'm sorry, but as I said, there really is no room for negotiation here. What does that thing he has in his hand? Some kind of metal disc?
And you, go on. Leave me alone. Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we aren't here. We shan't be offended in the slightest.
Yeah, just go for it. Just go for it, ma'am. You're good. Just do whatever you were going to do originally. It's fine. Susato-san can really stand her ground when she wants to. Whatever. 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 Guess we're just gonna talk to you. So you're a customer here, huh? Somehow, I didn't really think you were the sort of person who would use a pawnbroker, Miss Lestrade. Yeah, well, I am, alright? I'm a Londoner, just like everyone else. That a problem, is it? No, not at all. It's just that, well... Oh, I get it. I know what you're thinking. That thing probably didn't even belong to her. Probably got it on the dive, didn't she? Yeah, I can see it written all over your Chevy Chase. Well, I might have been thinking something along those lines. Slightly, teeny bit. You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruhodo? No, why would I? Alright then, I'm just gonna come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things that you steal from other people? Well, I don't know how best to answer that, really. So that's a yes. So you do. Suppose, sometimes. So you do. You're not going to deny it either, Miss Lestrade? But not this time, alright, I swear. That thing belongs to me. The disc that Mr. Winterbank is holding. Perhaps we should see what he has to say about all this. Okay, I guess we're just gonna examine. What's up, buddy? You got something more to say to us? Mr. Lestrade's disc. Mr. Winterbank, what exactly is this metal disc that Miss Lestrade has brought in? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on its surface. Ah, this is a music disc, you see, for use inside a music box. In a music box? What, you don't even know what a music box is? You Eastern lot ain't too savvy, eh? I know what a music box is, I've just never seen one of these discs before. The small protrusions on the metal disc encode the tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going and beautiful music plays. It's so incredible, tell us, what tune is on this disc? Among Us in real life? No. Power, that's not how this works. Among Us isn't real. Among Us can't hurt you, okay? But there might be one of us among you. Someone among you. Is it an alien? Is it a serial killer? Oh my god, it could even just be a fucking another person. Everyone is among everything in life. So I don't see how Among Us can be applied. Sorry, it's just not going to happen. Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There are so many different types of music box, you see. British-made, German, Swiss. I have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for. Ah, I see. And that's it in a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for an item like this, even if the young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny. Penny? It does. It's a packet of lies. He told me he did. He said it was, well... Yeah? He? Who? Who'd you get it from? Never you mind. It just ain't right, that's all. That disc's worth good money. I know it is. Well, then, you'd have to try your luck at another pawnbroker's, won't you? Come on. Just be a dude. Just be a bro. She's been in before, of course, this little tatterdemalion. Okay, I feel like I can't even be blamed for messing that word up. Tatterdemalion. I'm gonna look up that word. What the hell does that mean? Tatterdemalion. Ragged or disreputable in appearance. Ah, so it's someone who just looks untrustworthy. Or being in a decayed state or condition. Oh. Wait. It's probably connected to either the noun tatter or the adjective tattered. Such as ragged. Tatterdemalion. Yeah, I mean, I could see it coming from then. Yeah. Tattered just coming from this because it means ragged or disreputable. Oh, that makes sense. That's interesting. You learn something every day. I see. And brought some dubious article or other with her every single time, I might add. Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer, me. So, is there something dubious about the disc she brought in today? Well, if it were only that simple. Sorry? What do you mean? Yeah, what's going on? What she actually brought in was a storage ticket. Storage ticket? Ah, a storage ticket. So, Miss Estrada has actually come to redeem an article from you today, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Girl like me has a lot of stuff what needs storing. Alright, yep, that's definitely dubious. Real strange. The articles in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight. But if she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and the interest, I was obliged to return the article to her. And what's the article? Yeah, what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Windibank. The little scamp is wearing it, ma'am. Is it her hat? It's the overcoat that she redeemed. Oh, yeah, she's looking pretty spiffy with it on. Oh. What? What's wrong with that? It fits, doesn't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. So, what about the disc then? How does that come into all this?
Ah, the disc is something else. A new article to pawn if the girl and I can agree to a price.
New article to pawn. What do you mean? I'm confused. I thought you said that Miss Lestrade brought in a storage ticket today.
It's really quite simple. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket and the money owed on it, as you say.
For this heavy black coat, which you returned to her care, as I understood it.
That's right, yes. And rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went rifling through the pockets.
Oh, you mean that it wasn't hers? That jacket was not yours. So she stole someone's ticket, went here, and was just like, hey, I need whatever is on this. And it was a jacket. Well. Ah, I see. So it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it?
If you mean this disc, then yes, exactly, ma'am.
And she immediately tried to pawn it. For quite a high price as well. This is all rather suspicious, I think. Give it up. I'm just trying to pawn something like everything else would. Like someone else would. Mrs. Stroud, may I ask who deposited the overcoat ticket here in the first place? Well, me. It doesn't really appear to be your size. Me old man. It's me old man's, ain't it? Is it, Miss Lestrade? Is it really? Yeah, this is definitely all rather suspicious. Pretty sus, if you ask me. Out of my way, please. Oh, Mr. Fancy Pants over here. Man, I missed that game. I missed that Flash series. Any of you play Fancy Pants? That was one of the OG Flash games. Who's this picture postcard English gentleman? Good day to you, ladies, gentlemen. What's your problem, eh? There is no problem, as long as you remove yourself. I've a matter to discuss with the proprietor. Okay. And if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you to outside, little girl, for the hiding you deserve. Look, ain't it obvious? I ain't done talking with him yet. If you think you're such a gent, you should know how to wait in line. Well, you are an impudent little brat, aren't you? As well as a pickpocket. Eh? Who are you? How do you know who I am? The question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy even to remember the faces of your victims, it seems. What, you mean from you? Broker!
Yes, sir. Do I need to shoot myself?
I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no?
Yes,
The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Oh my. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel. And needless to say... Haha, twirl, pose. Any music discs, too. No, you can't have it. You just can't. It's me old man's, or it was, now it's mine. Goodness, Mr. Naruto. What the actual hell is going on around here? This is a very awkward situation. Yeah, I think perhaps we should... You're both hear both sides of the story in a little more detail. So, Gina, anything you want to tell us, maybe?
Miss Lestrade, is what the gentleman is saying... What do you think? It's all lies, ain't it? Obviously. I swear on my life I never laid me eyes on that dandy before.
Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't you? That ticket you brought in here just now.
No, I swear it. I swear to God. I totally believe in God, by the way. It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street, minding my own business, when this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself. Those wretched pickpockets. Yet again? Oh, yes, as you can see, I am a man of impeccable style. This isn't the first time that I've been targeted by these backslum scoundrels. Twirl pose. Now then, relinquish my overcoat.
Come along now, Miss Lestrade. Give the good gentleman his coat back. If you're going to cause trouble, I shall have no choice but to call the cops.
Oh, then why does everyone think it's me? Just look at this dandy cove, and you think I'm the dodgy one?
Little bit. Yeah, that's how this is going to work. Because none of us believe you right now. You're a well-known pickpocket.
Well, what about evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence that I've stolen something, eh? Come on, let's see it.
Oh, I have evidence, naturally.
You what?
What's the evidence, though? What, you got a picture?
Evidence that article Mr. Lestrade deemed actually evidence that the article Mr. Lestrade deemed actually belongs to this gentleman. Of course, we need only consult Mr. Windibank's ledger to know the truth. We'll be able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place.
Yeah, brilliant. Nope. I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible.
Oh.
Because their names aren't on it, I'm assuming. I never ask customers' names. That's a strict policy of mine.
But why not?
I don't want to be held accountable to anything that may or may not be deposited in my store. Let's just put it that way, shall we? A great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity.
Oh, I see. But then, how can you know if an article belongs to the person asking to redeem it?
They have the ticket. It's quite simple. Good sir, might I trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question?
Of course, it's... Pose, Professor!
Is he a professor? Yes, that's right, and all the evidence we need. This gentleman is the rightful owner of the article without doubt.
A watchword? Interesting. So yeah, what about you, Gina? What are you doing now that you were caught in the act? So about these watchwords, Mr. Windibank.
As I just explained, I never ask customers' names when they deposit items with me. There are many reasons why. Certain customers would like to keep their activities secret, if you know what I mean.
That wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Sholmes now, was it?
Great detectives have no dark secrets, none at all. You are lying, Susato. Everyone has secrets. No matter how mundane, everyone has a secret of some sort.
Yes, well, anyway, that's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new article. In many ways, it's like the secret combination of numbers used to unlock the vault. The date of a deposit, a description, and a watchword uniquely identify each item. And of course, then I give the storage ticket to the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword.
If that someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article?
That's right, sir, yes. Just as soon as the requisite fee is paid.
And I have supplemented you with the information you require already, but for the avoidance of doubt, the article in question is an overcoat deposited 2 months ago on 15th February. With a watchword of Professor.
All perfectly correct information, sir. We kind of already knew it was a coat because she's wearing it, and that's what we were talking about, so it's not really impressive that you knew what it was.
But how?
Really, this is beyond a joke now. There is no further room for doubt. Just give him his coat back. That's all you need to do. It's not hard, man. Can I talk with you, though? What's up? Picture postcard gentleman. Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the inquiry to introduce himself first. Though clearly you are not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Oh, sorry. Yes, we're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Oh, yes, Japan. I've heard talk of that place. Pose. Its inhabitants live on some fiery brown-colored soup, dressed up with exotic spices. You might be thinking of somewhere else. And what was that theatrical gesticulation about? Gesticulation is, hip movements, right? I think that's what it means. I'm gonna look it up. Gesticulation definition. We're learning today, Acolights. You gotta learn. Gesticulation, noun, a gesture, especially a dramatic one, used instead of speaking or to emphasize one words. Okay, so it's basically just using your hands or body for emphasis on what you're doing. Okay, that's a really weird word for it. I don't think I would have ever expected that's the word for that. Perhaps. Anyway, if you are a gentleman, sir, you offer your own name first before inquiring after the name of another. Oh, of course, yes. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a lawyer. Well, a student of law, really. And what about you?
My name is Susato Mikotaba. I am Mr. Naruhodo's assistant.
I see. You gotta give your name, bro? Or are you just gonna be an ass? My name is Benedict. Yes, Eggert Benedict. And I bestow upon you my presence. Enchante. He's so refined in how he holds himself and how he speaks, but that name is suspicious. Now to the matter at hand. My overcoat! Return it to me at once, to someone with the style to carry it off. Every move he makes, every breath he... Oh my god, they actually fucking made a reference right there. Every move you make, every breath you take, I'll be watching you. That is how the song goes, right? Every move he makes, every breath he takes, I'll be watching. Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, it totally was a reference. Good. Good. I'm glad I was able to recognize it in some way or fashion. Damn, he does pull off that jacket, though. So let that be the end to the matter. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Eggert Benedict, sir. Well, with such reasonable rates of interest, I may even decide to come back.
This is why I hate grown-ups. Just because I'm a diver, everyone thinks that makes me a liar.
And the contents of the coat pockets, if you please, broker.
But of course, sir, here's the disc for you.
Just this one? Pardon, sir? I was expecting another. That is, I deposited another. Another disc?
Oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir, that was what was deposited with me, was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but it was completely unaware of it until now.
So, gutterling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you? Say who's I know nothing about it. Yeah, just stop being an ass, Benedict. Very well. Flourish, pose. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute, that disc is mine. Oh my god. Oh shit. What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal.
Oh my, yes. There's blood on the disc.
It's because of all those sharp little bumps. Man must have scratched his finger on them.
I found it first, alright? I mean, it belonged to me, old man. So you're not having it. Or you take it.
Me? If I hang on to it, they'll have it off me again. So you keep hold of it. Miss Lestrade, why is this disc so important to her? A metal disc used to play music in a mechanical music box. The piece of music, which remains unidentified, is stored on the disc by means of small protrusions.
You there, in the black livery. Hand that disc to me at once, please. No, don't. He's lying. Grown-ups are all liars.
What do I do now? How am I going to resolve this? Do I have to choose? I really hope not. Oh my god. Do I have to question them? What's up, Gina? How you doing? How you living? Still being a mischievous scamp, I see. Wow, Miss Lestrade is really looking daggers at that mysterious gentleman. We need to do something to calm things down before she loses control and attacks him again. Yeah, can I, like, talk to you again or anything? Oh, nope, he is also just glaring at her. Look at those piercing eyes. He's clearly in no mood to talk. You have to do something quickly before this mysterious gentleman leaves to fetch the police or something. Do you guys, like... I mean, like, she's a pickpocket. Should you not call the police? I feel like you maybe should. Okay, and Windbank is also just staring. He's clearly at a loss here. We have to do something about this before he reaches for that revolver of his. Okay, so we're on like 4 different time limits here. And we can't converse with anyone. So, I guess we're just gonna look at stuff. Look at Mr. Windbank watching tears over his shop. There's still so many things I'm curious about. Some I don't really feel like this is the right time to be browsing. Calming this situation must be our first priority. And I'm fairly certain we can find just the great thing we need among the articles here in the shop. Something soothing? What about you, Sholmes? Got any advice? Mr. Sholmes, what are you examining with such keen interest there? As you enjoy a bar of caramel, I say. Pure caramel? Aw, man, that is not the move. That is not the move. Caramel is good, but not just only by itself. Oh, God. Or maybe it's just too sweet for me. What's up, Sholmes? What'd you find? So, you found me at last, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? After that young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows. Cruelly ostracized as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. I had nothing to occupy my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see my downfall had done to me. Oh my god, he's actually sulking. He is actually sulking because we were having a conversation with the pickpocket and not him. So feigning mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. Whilst, as you shrewdly observed, gnawing on the only friend I have left, this 7% solution of caramel. 7%? Pray, do you not claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruhodo? But how could you? I was so lonely, so desperately lonely. Then why on earth didn't you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know. Yes, I overheard much of your conversation. Or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. You really were sad, weren't you? Poor Mr. Sholmes, I feel simply awful for you. It would seem that my inferences are correct. Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again. My dear madame, sometimes I wonder, were my genius for deduction to be commoditized? How much could I pawn it for? Ah, he's just concerned with that. It seems Mr. Sholmes has had another of his flashes of inspiration. Who knows it'll help to resolve this situation between Miss Lestrade and the mysterious gentleman. What's the right thing to do here? Let's listen to the deduction. So what's up? What do you have for us this time, Sholmes? Well, Miss Lestrade, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament. Where the blue blazes have you been, eh? Pardon? When a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there to help. Straight away, not an hour later. Harsh. Yeah, I mean, it showed him, though. Flourish, pose. And who, pray tell, are you? Mr. Egbert Benedict. You have, in my eye, a veritably encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Nevertheless, there are 2 immovable conclusions I have drawn. I beg your pardon. The first is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbrokery today is something you have not yet revealed. Ah! And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation, one you will orchestrate with intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions?
How?
Wait, he's fucking right? What do you mean? Wait, is he... Wait. Was that actually hers and he's like a con man trying to just get it? Wait, then how did he know the code word?
It would seem that once again, Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction.
Just who do you think you are, sir? Ah, yes, as I had hoped. Ha ha! That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. Something to rejoin the conversation at my leisure. So, shall we begin? The time has come for yet another Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. I'm ready, Sholmes. The great deduction. The game is afoot. Haha. Topic 1. Mystery Man's Aim. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you have ventured into this pawnbrokery today. Scene tradition, spotlight. You claim to have followed this pickpocketeer, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. Yeah, what is it? What are you holding there? What is in that? As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. I do not believe that's true. The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement from this very shop. Yet even the most unobservant would soon realize that a man of your appearance has no need of such employ. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. Up, and now he's just getting rid of it. Ugh. The cane, which you unwittingly clutch in your person, exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. What utter rot! I've had this cane for years. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. The end of any walking cane would be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip. And yet, detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of this stick to be utterly bare. Haha. Therefore, there is one conclusion. The rod you hold in your hand, which appears to be a rocking cane, is in fact no cane at all. Oh my god, is it not? It's apparently not, if he's just clutching it like that. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? Aye. Haha. And in your recoil, you inadvertently facilitate the answer to the next... Oh my god. In your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Spotlight, namely, what is behind this rod you bear? Yeah, I'm also curious. Spin dash. Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. Scene tradition. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to misunderstanding this riddle you see. The moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. What walking cane demands such a stout handle? Mused I. I don't think that's right, Sholmes. I'm gonna be honest. But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod. What? It's a shovel? It's the broken handle of a shovel. What? Are you insane? And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here. Spotlight was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. What a calculated crime you have conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. That is... Conclusion. To tunnel underneath the pawnbrokery. Not true. Not true. Sorry, Sholmes. That is incorrect. Great crime. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbrokery with a broken shovel? What on earth do you propose I could expect to find there? Ooh, aha! Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose? Save for such fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but the spotlight would amplify a reason enough. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? And let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and covertly dig beneath the floor. As we transition, the answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. This letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. Haha, and according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewerage works, beneath this shop runs a sewer that adjoins another one that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road. This madness has entered the sewers now, has it? By excavating the ground beneath your feet, you would gain access to the waterway that flows in very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite. Oh, God. My chair is freaking out. Oh, God. Oh, shit. There we go. Oh, man, that feels better. I can't tell if it... Oh, my God, I can't tell how to sit on my seat anymore. I've messed with it so much. Just one more time. One more time. That's good. Let me just scoot up a little bit. There we go. Yep. What are you implying here? In summary, sir. Haha, Spin Dash, you devised a masterful plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of an underground tunnel.
Master plan?
Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Haha. With what plunder did the thief hope to take from the underground vault of the bank?
Are you quite serious?
Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Seriously, no clue. Has anyone gotten this guy on his meds recently?
Allow me to present a rather intriguing piece of evidence. Haha. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know.
A postcard of the Great Exhibition? I'm afraid you've quite lost me.
Currently, in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway, and the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Spin Dash. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank on the other side of this road.
Pardon? I didn't know that, but now that I do, I'm feeling like robbing a bank.
Yes, the considerable crime you've been contemplating. Haha, transition, spotlight, is the theft of that which sits in the vault of the bank, the special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. I feel like you just revealed something without meaning to. Conclusion, to steal the Great Exhibit's reserve funds. That's not a Holmes. That is not a, I'm sorry. Thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of this pawn-brokering puzzle.
Yeah, that's, Mr. Sholmes?
What is it, my boy? Haha, well, Mr. Naruhodo, an impressively upbeat deduction for a detective racked with loneliness, would you not agree? Was it true what you said about the bank over the road and what it has in its vault? That's crazy. Indeed, though few know of its existence, it is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. Gregson told me in the strictest confidence. So, you just kind of like gave that information to... In fact, I'm sure there are people walking outside on the street that heard you say that. Ah, and if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict have come to find out about it? There could be but one explanation for that. Clearly, it's because the man is a criminal.
But what if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal, as you said, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now that you've revealed the secret.
Oh. Or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Winstabank will. He already has plenty of shovels here, in fact.
On my life, I assure you, I'm not so unscrupulous.
Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost of care, don't you know? One can never be sure that someone's privy to secrets won't disclose them, and once the word gets out, it's out. Yeah, what's the saying? 2 people, it's a secret. 3 people, everyone will know. Something along those lines. I can't remember the exact saying. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you. Oh, perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo. An excellent idea. Loose lips sink ships after all, and I have sunk a ship or 2.
Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure.
Yeah, let's listen to that great deduction again and see if we can massage it into shape. Massage it into shape. Very well then, let us start once more from the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes's magnificent logic and reasoning spectacular. Alright. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Topic 1. Mystery Man's Aim. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. Spotlight, you claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption tickets stolen from you on the street. Haha, but that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. Transition, as revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to the shop in this first place, staff recruitment flyer. Incorrect. So, by Mr. Sholmes' reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here in order to apply for a job so he could dig down through the floor. Yes, an attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he? No, I think it's fair to say his motives lie elsewhere. The question is, where? What did bring Mr. Benedict here at that particular point in time? Yes, what could it have possibly been? The hat? Oh my, that looks like something interesting. What is that, you say? That is definitely a drawing of her, of Lestrade. Oh, are you oh, okay, so I mean, obviously his goal was to get the jacket and the discs. So maybe he was told that by following her and claiming to be the original owner, he'd be able to get it. Look at all the scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here. Yeah, I don't believe it. What is it? Listen to what it says. Name, Gina Lestrade. Height, 5'2". Green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white t-shirt, blue satchel, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade. Goodness. There's even a sketch of her, hat and all. Although, if he showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher at his face for sure. And look, the details of the shop have been written down here too. Windobanks Pawnbrokery, Baker Street, redemption deadline 15th of April, which is today's date. Why would Mr. Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of the piece of paper? Because he knew to come here on the 15th and just, like, heckle her. Because he knew that the pawn shop wouldn't believe her. So yeah, let's, yeah, what's this, scribbling you have there, huh? Ha! Spotlight. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the info about Miss Lestrade. Transition. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and sketch on the reverse of that flyer. Haha, Spotlight. Pertained to the pickpocket, Miss Lestrade, and to which Mr. Windibake's pawnbrokery here. Ah! Transition. You originally told us... Ha! Spotlight, that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the redemption ticket from you. But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie. Ha! Transition. Spotlight. It is information on the back of the flyer that led you here today, by which I mean... Here to Windibake's pawnbrokery, and today the redemption deadline of the overcoat. So, you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. Ah! And you should have gone to some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit of Miss Lestrade. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane, which you unwittingly clutched to your person, exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. What utter rot! I've had this cane for years. Spotlight, the contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. What's a ferrule? It's the metal cap commonly found at the end of a cane, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah, the bit that makes the nice clacking sound on the pavement? Yes, exactly, and Mr. Sholmes is right. It appears to be missing on the cane. But it doesn't actually look broken, does it? No, it doesn't, though the gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Sholmes identified the cane as suspicious. In other words, There's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know. Which would be... Was it not in... Yeah, it's like embroidered, right? Yeah, look at that. The initialing. It doesn't belong to you. Look here, Mrs. Sato. There's some letters on the handle. Ah, yes, those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letters of their names. So, Herlock Sholmes would be S-H-S, you mean? That's right. And the initials on this cane are obviously... Oh. A-G? Why does it feel like as though that's not quite right? That would be it. That would be the answer. Yeah, that's not yours either. You're a simple grifter. Spotlight. The contradiction of which I speak, of course, is the initialing. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Egbert Benedict? We are led to believe, sir, that your initials are E.B. Yet in most possessive manner, you have in your grasp a cane belonging to the initials A.G. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed, would you not agree? No, you're wrong. This cane isn't... It isn't anything. You said before that you'd had that cane for years. Spin dash. So don't try to tell us you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park. In short, though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name. And something just tore. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Spotlight. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? It's a good question. Spin dash! Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. Nope. He definitely tore... Yeah, let's consider the bare bones of what's happened here. Mrs. Straw deemed that fine-looking overcoat. Now a mysterious man has appeared, introducing himself with a fake name, and claiming that the overcoat belongs to him. But we know that he actually identified Mrs. Strahd from a written description, which suggests that everything else he's told us is untrue. So what we need to do here is somehow prove that the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him. Is that a tear? Is that a tear in the jacket? That is a tear. Look at that. It's a split seam. You're tearing the jacket you're wearing. Oh, the seam on the shoulder here is coming apart. Look. So it is. Do you know, a moment ago when Mr. Bennick was surprised by something that he said, I thought I heard him make a rather strange noise. It sounded a bit like a tiny growl. No, I think it was probably the sound of the seam ripping open. If you look closely, it does seem to be a very tight fit. Sleeves are stretched to bursting, and he wouldn't have a hope of fastening it at the front. If you were to run around in it, I'm sure the whole thing would fall apart. Then I'd like to see. Sorry? So, how can we make Mr. Benedict run around? She's really giving this some thought. Well, I mean, we obviously present it. I would assume, anyway. Hope so. It's like, hey, you sure this jacket belongs to you? It doesn't seem to, fit. The split seam, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. Spin. Yes, because the overcoat is rather obviously a poor fit. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the seam is already breaking apart. Hoo-ha! My suspicions were aroused from the outset. We're the perfect duo. Spin dash. Lights. When you so badly lied about your name and so badly waylaid this pickpocket. Sorry about that. Something caught in my throat. This catalog of untruths has all been for one very specific purpose. Transition. Spotlight. To steal the article that the young girl had redeemed from Mr. Winterbeck. How could you have known? What really irks me is this. The considerable crime I initially imagined has been considerably curtailed. Yep. Conclusion. To abscond with the redeemed item. Solved. Topic 2. Great crime. Alright, so what's the great crime here? Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, designed a wheeze to filch some tawdry article of pawnage. Have you forgotten that I redeemed the article in the proper manner using the watchword? Who Had I not been the one to deposit it in the first place, how could I have possibly known the relevant details, n'est-ce pas? Spotlight, oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more than telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword related to the pond property of another. It's the book. The method is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes are inadvertently drawn. Definitely not that. It's definitely the ledger filled with everything. The direction of the deduction must change rather dramatically now, I think. Yeah, no more talks of tunneling into the sewers. Which is a pity because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny this all mysterious gentleman did know the watchword. Yeah, Professor. If you didn't know that word, Mr. Windibank would never allow you to redeem the article. Or, looking at it another way, if you did know that word, Mr. Windibank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. So the question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword out somehow? Yeah, like, I know it's a month's time, and it's pretty easy to forget everyone that's pawned off to you, but I would think you would have some recollection of who had what, right? Then again, I guess I can't talk, because I am very bad at remembering pretty much everything. The notelet. What's on there? Look at this, Mr. Sato. Ah, it appears to be a memo that Mr. Windibanks has scribbled to himself. Let's see, what does it say? Oh, Professor. Oh, well, that's how he found it out. Yeah, Dots is right. Mr. Windibank must make a note of the watchwords his customer give him right before their eyes. And in alarmingly clear script as well. Oh dear, I don't know where to look. Who knows what other secrets I might see? Yep, that's it, alright. It's the notelet.
Take that!
You know what he does? He probably writes out the words for the day he's expecting them to come in. The method is revealed by the notelet left on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customers for the watchword and notes down the response uttered on the notelet he has to hand. Then he consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question. I would expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker. But this diligence clearly has its disadvantages. What are you talking about? It is increasingly apparent that you were present in the shop before your accusation against Miss Lestrade. Transition! In all likelihood, you followed her inside and then observed her talking to Mr. Windibank. When the diligent broker made a note of the watchword, as is in common practice, you observed him writing the word Professor on the notelet besides the ledger. Ugh. Yep. And that, sir, was the master plan you devised to steal the pawned article from the young Miss Lestrade. Master plan? You cannot possibly expect me to You can't expect... Oh my god. Oh, I can't talk today at all. You can't expect me to believe into... Nope, I'm not even gonna say it. The joke is past. The time for the joke is past, and I failed. I failed you all, and I apologize. It's truly with a heavy heart that I must lay the joke to rest where it belongs. In the joke graveyard, where all other unfunny jokes go, such as puns. There's an abundance of puns there. And they all, sort of deserve to be there. Unfortunately, now that is where that joke lies. A graveyard of puns. Unfortunate. It's not even a pun, too. It was just a sentence. I fucked up that badly. I fucked up so badly that it went into the pun graveyard. Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Spindash, why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker? Are you quite serious? Spotlight, for an ill-fitting overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music box disc. But naturally, you had a very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. Ha! You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. Yeah, again. The articles we're talking about are the overcoat and the music box disc that was in one of the pockets. Which, according to Mr. Windibank, isn't even worth a penny. And yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why? I wonder if perhaps we already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruhodo. Could we? Really? I'd rather have a thorough look at all the evidence we've collected so far. The music box disc? Was that not actually his blood on it? I never actually examined it. Look at all the little bumps on the disc. They're so tiny. Yes, the protrusions are called pins, and they pluck the teeth of the comb to make notes. And just on the edge, there's a small amount of blood. Yeah, the blood of Mr. Egbert Benedict. When Miss Lestrade tried to grab the disc from him, the pin scratched his fingers, it seems. Like when you're grating some daikon radish and accidentally scratch your finger. I mean, I've never done that. Just thinking about it hurts. It puts me off eating radish. Was it like making hash browns, maybe? Oh, what? Let's turn this right side. What does it say? For McGilded! Oh, so that's why. So, I'm assuming that was a McGilded's coat? Maybe? I don't know. Something was happening. So, she was lying. It wasn't her old man, but it was McGilded. It was McGilded who was giving her something. There's a little strip of paper to the reverse side of the disc, look. And a scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name. Holy shit, it's McGilded. For McGilded. McGilded? It couldn't be. But it is Mr. Naruhodo. A name I shall never forget for as long as I live. But why? Why is his name on this? The music box's information has been updated in the court record. Yep, let's present the music box, I guess.
Take that!
Just readjusting my position here. Ha! Spotlight. You see, this music box tells us, this music disc tells us all we need to know. What's that on the back? It reads for McGilded. Ah! Ha-ha! Ah, Mr. Magnus McGilded, the unfortunate philanthropist who perished in curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. A prominent man in London, though his loan-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. That's his coat. So, you're an associate of his, are you? Or perhaps a subordinate? Mr. McGilded was a man of unusually small stature. In fact... Ha! Spotlight. He was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you've squeezed yourself into. Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Egbert Benedict. Eggs Benedict Arnold, some may say. But the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today... Transition! Ha! Spin dash! Was to retrieve an article left behind by the late Magnus McGilded. That's right, you feel that pain. You feel that pain in your conscience. You get caught red-handed. Conclusion! To acquire an item deposited by Mr. McGilded. Dang, I wonder what the significance of those are. Deduction complete. Elementary. Yeah, back to back with Sholmes. Honestly, I think the reason Sholmes grew on me so much was because of the deductions. They're just so fun. Well, well, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I'd expected to hear in these circumstances. Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind. Pray tell, Mr. Sato, what's going on? Well, according to what Mr. Windibank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the coat could have been redeemed, was it not? Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Today would be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited. Well, today's the 15th of April, so 2 months ago today. Would have been 15th February, sir, that's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Deposited at 10:30 p.m., I see. Oh my god, it happened like the day before, didn't it? What? But that suggests... Yes, 15th February. It's precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place. Oh, shit. It wasn't the day of the... Well, I mean, I guess it was the day of the court case, but yeah, it was the day he was murdered. And 10:30 in the evening is precisely the time at which the terrible events were unfolding. So those discs have to be important because he obviously before he, like, went to investigate that, he deposited his coat with them inside of it here beforehand. So what could be on the... Why are those so important? Suggestive is not the word. It would seem the matter is entirely beyond coincidence. Well, you are, of course, at liberty to make whatever outlandish deductions you choose. However... Pose. Holy shit. I must insist you hand over the music box disc now. Oh, it would be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box. What do I do? No, I'm not giving it to you. Shoot me, bro. You want to get just put away for life? You want to murder 4 people today? There's some things a man must protect at all costs. This may well be one of those things. Then again, it may not. Oh, damn. He got a gun. You better kill yourself, Winterbank. Throw him off. Throw him off his gang. Oh, secret hidden technique. Shoot self. No, power. The secret hidden technique is he's gonna kill him. He's been holding that gun to his head every opportunity he's got. You don't think he's gonna blow his brains out as a distraction? Highly doubtful. This is my shop. I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I would have to take my own life. Mr. Winterbank, no! Alright, that's enough. Who's here? Oh shit, it's Gregson! Inspector Gregson! Inspector? That's right, sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines. So we got here as fast as we could. Now, what's all this about, eh? Oh, praise be, you're here at last! I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my very own establishment. So, bro, you want to go through this? You want to keep making threats when the police are literally standing right next to you? I thought not. I thought not, you punk. It would seem you have the upper hand. Yeah, we do. 'Cause you're a snot-nosed little shit. We tried to steal a coat and some information. Right, you have some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some petty argy-bargy. Petty? Mr. Winterbank very neatly met with his end. Yeah, by his own gun as far as I could tell. Oh dear. And the whole of Britain could meet with its end, so it gets to the bottom of the case I'm supposed to be working on. What? What on earth is the case, Inspector? Spare no detail, Gregson. I might have said a little too much. No matter, it's nothing to do with you lot. Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station. But of course, Inspector. Unless I twirl away! He's getting away! He's twirling too quick! Oh god! How can he pirouette so gracefully? He just somersaulted over that wall! Shit! Ah, we lost him. I can't believe we would lose him so quickly like that. Man is graceful. There's been a spate of thefts at pawn shops around here recently. So we've fitted emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble. Oh, Inspector, I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed. Now then, Mr. Permanently in Mourning. Oh, me? Oh, I guess I am wearing all black. I'll be taking that whatever it is of McGilded's down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over. Oh, yeah, of course. No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is, mine. I'm sorry, miss, but anything belonging to Mr. McGilded has been taken in as evidence now. As evidence? If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. Turn the boat over. Turn over a new leaf, as they say. It's all yours, Inspector. Grr. I'm sorry, Gina. I know you wanted to keep his thing for yourself. But we gotta listen to it. And so we handed Mr. McGilded's disc over to Inspector Gregson. And were summarily turfed out of the shop and into the street. Well, that sucks. Anyway, you got the other disc. To be continued! Oh my god. Man. Wait. So I thought the game was going to entirely be just like a string of court cases. But if it actually gets into like some deeper mystery about like the goings-on of the higher-ups, that's pretty interesting. I'll take that. That said, Acolights, my throat is actually about to give out on me. I probably I probably should choose some softer voices for the people in this series to have, but I try to make it as entertaining as possible. It is getting a little hard though, so I'm gonna end a little early, unfortunately. But we will get to the next chapter. Well, I mean next week, I guess. All right. Hope you all have a good night, and as always, do your best to be kind. Get good. Ugh, the pain. You're hitting me where it hurts, Power. Why would you do this to me? Get good. I'm getting good. It's just my throat. Listen to that. You think that's healthy? Nah. As soon as your voice starts crackling, it's time to stop. Time to stop. Time to get some rest. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'll talk to you later. Hope you guys have a good night. And be kind. That's all I ask of you. Just don't be an ass. It's pretty easy. Talk to you later.